Good day, everyone. I am Judy Ann Navarro, your teacher in Introduction to Philosophy of the Human Person.
Our objective for this day is to realize that choices have consequences and some things are given up while others obtain in making choices. For the code, PPT 11/12-2B-5.3 and show situations that demonstrate freedom of choice and the consequences of choices. For the code, PPT 11/12-2C-5.4.
Before we start our lesson, I want you to answer this.
Direction. Find a partner. It can be a member of the family, friend, or anyone who are around that can help you with this activity. For the activity A, pass a pillow to the partner you choose. Ask your partner to do whatever he or she wants with the pillow. Example, crush, hug, punch, etc. Activity B. After one round of passing the object with each other, pass the object again but in a different manner this time. You can do whatever you want to do with the object, but you have to note that whatever you decide to do with the object will be the same action you will do to your partner. Was there a significant change in the actions done in the first round of passing the object around with the second round of actions? Number 2. Why do you think was the first different from the second? Kindly write down your answers, A or B, on the following. The first one. Which between the two actions, the first or the A and the second, which is the B, would you consider as the example of the exercise of freedom? Number 2. Which between the two actions would you consider as an example of the exercise of responsibility? Number 3. Which between the two actions would you consider as an example of an action realizes the meaning of being human? There are two elements of freedom. The first one is voluntariness. It refers to the ability of a person to act out his or her free will and self-determination. It means that a person may decide to act or not to act, and these decisions are made out of his or her own free will. In law and philosophy, voluntariness is a choice being made of a person's free will, as opposed to be made as the result of coercion or duress. Example, some actions cannot be done voluntarily unless the person is aware of certain facts when doing them. For example, a person cannot shoot to someone voluntarily if he or she is not aware that he or she is holding a gun. The second one is responsibility. It refers to the person being accountable for his or her actions and consequences. As a free being, the person must accept the consequences of his action and take responsibility for them. In philosophy, moral responsibility is the state of morally deserving praise, blame, reward, or even punishment for an act or omission in accordance with one's moral obligations. Deciding what, if anything, counts as morally obligatory is a principal concern of ethics. Voluntariness and responsibility go hand in hand in determining a person's freedom. In any situation where a person is forced to do an action against his or her will, it follows that he or she cannot be held responsible for his or her involuntary actions. What do we mean when we say freedom is experienced through the act of making choices? It is because freedom is best exercised when we make choices. Freedom gives us the choice to undertake possible actions and decisions. In making choices, it is where we can measure how responsible we are in using our freedom. When we make the choice to do a particular action, we can never go back and redo our actions and make another choice. How can I exercise my freedom in a responsible and beneficial manner? Human freedom should be exercised with control and recognition of reasonable limits. We set limits to our own freedom and learn to moderate or control our thoughts, emotions, and actions depending on the situation. A person can even choose to limit his or her own freedom or even surrender it entirely if it will result in greater benefits. Limiting our personal freedom requires us to sacrifice certain self-interest and accept certain realities that are beyond our control. According to Toni Morrison, freeing yourself was one thing, claiming ownership of that freed self was another. Kindly read and reflect on the situation below. Bert was on his way home from school when unknowingly he stumbled upon a wallet. It appears to be full of cash as well as several identification cards of the owner. Bert knows he was short on the budget he needed to complete the school project he was working on, and he could also spend some on new shoes. Imagine that you are in his situation. Which among the situation pictured below will be your most truthful action? A. Turn in the wallet to the nearest police station and tell them what happened. B. Take the money and spend it on the things you need and want. C. Leave the wallet alone and continue walking home. Freedom gives us the choice to undertake one of these possible actions. It also enables us to come up with new choices. For example, some may take some of the cash before reporting it to the police to purchase their needs. The essence of freedom is that it does not confine our actions to those who do set or expected by others. We can imagine your actions and decide to undertake them. Now recall your answer and ask yourself why you choose to take that action. What could be the possible consequences of your action? Reflecting upon your actions will enable you to know yourself better as a person. Your actions also determine to uphold human dignity and freedom. Having freedom, however, also entails certain responsibilities. It is possible for a person to diminish or deny a freedom through the choices that he or she makes. We are who we are because of the choices we make. Life is a long journey, and in this journey, we would likely face the same situation again and again. Every repeated choice that we make in the same scenario can develop into a habit. If this habit continues, it becomes one of your character traits.
I am certain that you have learned a lot today. Now it's time for a quiz. Are you ready, guys?
Instruction. Read the questions carefully and choose the correct answer. Number 1. This is vital in proper exercise of human freedom. A. Voluntariness. B. Responsibility. C. Self-reflection. And D. Freedom. Number 2. The ability of a person to act out his or her free will and self-determination. A. Voluntariness. B. Responsibility. C. Self-reflection. And D. Freedom. Number 3. It refers to the person being accountable for his or her actions and consequences. A. Voluntariness. B. Responsibility. C. Self-reflection. And D. Freedom. Number 4. How can we exercise our freedom in a responsible and beneficial manner? A. Through making choices. B. With control and a recognition of reasonable limits. C. Through following what you really want without any coercion. D. A and B. Number 5. You had witnessed your classmate habitual cruelty to your friend inside the classroom. Which among the situations below will be your most truthful action? A. Ask help to your other friends about the incident. B. Tell your teacher or your guidance counselor about it. C. Watch and ignore your friend. D. Laugh at him, her, and refuse to help. Number 6. Choose the statement that shows responsible use of freedom. A. Despite the threats made in his life, the witness decided to come forward and divulge important information regarding the crime he witnessed. B. A woman used the internet to humiliate her ex-boyfriend by spreading lewd photos on him on social media. C. Despite knowing that many of his clients were poor and desperate, a moneylender continues to impose very high interest rates on loans. D. None of the above. Number 7. What will be the possible consequences of committing cutting classes? A. You will learn how to lie. B. You will get high grades. C. Your teacher will be happy. D. You will be behind in your lessons and get low grades. Number 8. The following are benefits of self-reflection except A. We exercise caution and prudence. B. We exercise freedom responsibly. C. Make the proper choices regarding the most beneficial decisions or actions. D. Repeat the choices and actions made. Number 9. Genuine freedom is always coupled with A. Voluntariness. B. Responsibility. C. Self-reflection. And D. Freedom. Number 10. We set blank to our own freedom and learn to moderate or control our thoughts, emotions, and actions depending on the situation. A. Limit. B. Choices. C. Caution. D. Consequences.
That's all for today. I hope you learned something. Bye!